All right, well, is this a makeup or a breakup? Because she changed her mind about having kids. His wife is 28, he's 30, and they married 4 years ago, and they both had agreed that they wanted kids. It was a big part of our relationship, something we confirmed before dating, before engagement, and again, before marriage. We talked about it. It was said, we're going to have kids. I've always dreamed of having at least 3, and she said she always wanted them too. Then we get married, and we wanted to wait a little bit so we could have a little bit of time to ourselves as newlyweds. Didn't want to jump right into the family life.
That's smart.
We said 2 years. That's what we're going to do. We're going to build up some finances and just kind of travel, enjoy ourselves and our married life together. We got to the end of the 2 years, and she was very hesitant when I suggested getting off the birth control. She was like, nope, not going to do it. And, I still had to wear protection, all that kind of stuff. And I finally said, okay, so what is up? Because here we are, we're 4 years into this. And she said, well, my career is going great. Do you know what that's going to do if I have kids and have to take that time? It's going to derail the momentum that I have. Then, we're talking about all the other expenses that come with this. And I just feel like our life is going really good right now to drop a bomb on it like the kids. He said, yeah, but we discussed this at very important junctures of dating, of engagement, and of marriage. And I didn't change. You did. And he said, what hurts me the most is that she's felt this way for a while now and didn't tell me about it.
Well, I don't think she didn't tell you about it because she was trying to be a jerk. She probably didn't want to tell you about it because she knew it's going to be painful and uncomfortable. She should have said something, but
she was probably trying to rectify it in her own mind.
Yeah, I understand why she,
He said this was always a non-negotiable part of my life, and now I feel blindsided like I don't know the person I married. I still love her deeply, but I can't imagine giving up having children. I don't know what to do next or how to talk to her about it again.
You guys should probably go and get in front of a marriage therapist and work it out there where everybody can fight fair and discuss how they feel and figure it out with the help of an expert. Because you guys, if you're on complete opposite pages about having kids, you might be headed to divorce.
Well, this is a matter of the heart situation. It's not, oh, you like mustard and I don't. It's a big deal.
But she's entitled to change her mind.
Well, that's my question to the married people. If you get married, are you allowed to change your mind on something that is the matter of the heart?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you decide you don't want to have kids, you should not be forced into having kids, especially if you're the one that has to carry them.
Mm-hmm. Having lived a good bit of time now on this planet, when I was young, I had my whole life planned out on how things were going to go. And I'd had it all, at this age, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. The thing you realize about life is you just got to take it day by day. You got to enjoy what you got. You got a great wife that you say you're deeply in love with, and she's 28, you're 30. And the way medicine is and everything today, you still got a lot of time. And where she is right now, she's not into having kids. It doesn't mean that won't change. But there are a lot of people where both of them are into having kids, and guess what? They just can't have kids. And then you got to think, okay, we're going to adopt. So look, these things always do happen where you can't map out your life and say, I'm going to have 3.5 kids and we're going to live here. And it's just, you need to just find somebody that you love and you have, and then just hold hands and go through the roller coaster of life together.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should be divorcing over this, but they might.
Well, if you really want kids and your partner doesn't, and you really have a yearning for children, that's a big deal for a lot of people.
But a good woman is hard to find. So before you toss her out, if you do love her and she's nice to you and you guys connect, and it sounds like she's got a great career where she's the breadwinner, maybe in a few years you can talk her into having a kid, and then she goes back to work and you stay home and take care of the kid if that's really important to you.
You are right. Life does not care about your plans. I was supposed to play third base for the Atlanta Braves. It did not work out for me.
Okay.
But I got a better gig. I'm here.
Yeah, look at that. Who needs the Braves, right?
Braves, Smaves, all that
Who needs
money.
the millions of professional baseball?
Yeah.
When you can work here for nickels.
I love it.
Yeah, I would tell him to pump the brakes. If you talk her into it and then she realizes that you talked her into it and she didn't want to do it, that's not going to go well either. Then you're going to be divorced with kids, and she's going to resent you. And just let it ride. She's 28 years old. You're 30.
That is
Pump
pretty.
the brakes, dude.
In
You're
modern
young.
times, that's. I mean, I get if it was the 1400s.
You're young.
Uh-huh. This person, they want to know if this is a makeup or breakup. They've been dating this girl for almost 4 months, and he's a little bit younger, early 20s, and they haven't been intimate yet at the 4-month mark. And he said it was kind of odd because she was always a little standoffish and used to always come up with these random excuses of when it could have happened. Be like, oh, I got to check the oven. We're not cooking anything. Weird things that are just like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Finally, I just said, what is up? Like, it's 4 months, and, I thought at this stage of our relationship, we would be there, and we're not there. And she reluctantly told me, I don't want to say anything because I got herpes. Apparently, she got it from her last boyfriend that didn't tell her he had it, and he had been cheating on her. Now, she assured me that she was only trying to protect me, and it's not that she found me repulsive or anything like that. She just, was afraid that she was going to lose me. And so she figured by putting off us being intimate, she would be able to, in a sense, get him deeper on the hook, and then he wouldn't worry about it. And now he says, I don't know anything about this. I told her I need a little bit of time. I got to process this, and I don't know what to do. I don't know anything about herpes. Is this an immediate deal breaker? Like, what is life like? What does this mean?
Well, it was nice of her to not expose him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of person she is.
If she knows she has herpes and she gives it to somebody and she knows she does, that's a crime.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's not what's going on here. Now, I assume there are people where you have one person that is with the herpes and the other person in the relationship is not, and they've found ways that it's not an issue and there's no transmission of the virus from one to the other.
Maybe go with her to the doctor and talk it over there and see what your chances are of catching it, what you can do to minimize the risk.
And get some dinner after. Turn it into a date.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, I don't think that this is necessarily a deal breaker. I think you just need to ramp up your education of it. You need to really look into it. You need to become an expert in this and fully understand what this diagnosis means for her and for you, and then make your choices there.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.